This is a video I've been waiting to do for a long time. What's up guys, and welcome to my newest video. What am I talking about today? Well, I am actually very excited because this is a topic that I've been wanting to discuss for years, and when I say years, I am not exaggerating. As you can probably tell from the title of this video, I am a fan of the Hunger Games, so I decided to sort of keep with the trend, put on a hoodie, do the ankle so you can see my poster behind, so that we can talk about this. Ever since I've been a fan of the Hunger Games, I have had this accusation hung over my head. I've seen it thrown around everywhere. I've seen it put under a comment section of every video. It's about the Hunger Games. What is this comment? Well, The Hunger Games is a rip-off of Battle Royale. Battle Royale being the book written in 1999, I think, by the author I am not going to try because there's going to be a lot of names that I'm not going to try because I don't want to come off as offensive, and I know rightly that I will not be able to pronounce them, so I'm going to write it along here. The argument has always been Battle Royale came first before the Hunger Games, so obviously Suzanne Collins ripped off the idea of this entire word basically from Battle Royale. And where I agree that there are similarities, I can finally now confirm for real that both pieces of literature are nothing alike. I have always said this based on what I have known from the movie that was made. I watched the movie a few years ago. It's been a while since I've watched the movie, but about a year ago I had nothing to read, so I bought the book. But I only got around to reading the book recently, and I am actually so excited by the fact that I can now say that they are both nothing alike. And these accusations coming along about the Hunger Games being a rip-off is absolutely ridiculous and basically grasping at straws. But in saying that, I enjoy both pieces of literature in different ways. I enjoyed Battle Royale, I actually did. This whole idea of kids killing kids must just be something that I must vastly enjoy in books and other pieces of media, because I really enjoyed reading Battle Royale. I thought it was a brilliant book in the same way I think The Hunger Games is a brilliant book. So in no way am I putting down Battle Royale or The Hunger Games in any way in this video. I just want to make the comparison and point out why these two stories are nothing like each other, because they're not. Starting with Battle Royale, every year a class is randomly selected to participate in this game. I say game, I don't even think they refer to a game, they call it the program. They are randomly selected and forced to kill each other. There are 42 students in an average classroom. So it is 42 students who are most commonly put on an island that has been evacuated and given weapons, and they're told to kill each other. There are multiple POVs throughout the book, so you don't really pinpoint down who is really the main character, but I would personally say that I see it as Shuya. Oh my god, pronouncing these names, please forgive me. I would say that the main characters were Shuya, Noriko, and Kawada. So that's what Battle Royale is about. My copy is the remastered version, but there was a couple of mistakes in the translation where names would get mixed up or words would be missing, but it didn't really take away from the reading experience of the book. Like, I was able to figure out what was going on well enough, so I wouldn't really say it's a problem. So that's what Battle Royale is about, in a nutshell anyway. The Hunger Games, if anyone doesn't know, is following through Katniss Everdeen. There is one POV, and it is basically every year kids between the ages of 12 and 18 are reaped at a public reaping from 12 districts and forced to fight to the death in a pageant called the Hunger Games. And I call it a pageant because they are dressed up, made to look pretty, basically forced to perform for the capital as little puppets before they are put into the game. And even when they win, they still have to put on this image, like they basically become celebrities. So the main character is Katniss, and I would say Peeta is the main character as well in this first book, and Haymitch and Effie probably, but I'm talking more about the game. And that's what the Hunger Games is about. So what I'm probably hearing people saying now, well they are exactly alike, it's kids killing kids, isn't it? But there are definitely differences that I think are extremely important to consider between these books, and I think it's something that either the people who make the accusations know about and choose to ignore, or didn't really think about when they started making these accusations. So I'm going to go through them now. In Battle Royale, the game is not televised. There is a big deal made out of the fact that they can't see them. There's no cameras on this island. The people, there's an area in the school, where the school is, that gets immediately made a forbidden zone, which means if you go in there, your collar will explode, because they're given these collars. And that's where the people who put them into this program are, and they can't see them. There's only a microphone in their collars, and through this means that they are not being recorded. Whereas the entire point of the Hunger Games is that this is a recorded event, this is highly documented, this is basically like the big brother of the capital. They're all tuning in to watch this. These people become celebrities. They get lavished in riches when they win. They get treated and pampered, and you know, they get a different life from what they were leading in their poverty district. So that's the first major thing that I was made completely aware of when I was reading this, because I remember someone pointed out to me, they said, oh, it is recorded in Battle Royale, and when I was reading it, I was waiting for it to come up that it was recorded, but it's not. It's literally not. Their voices are recorded so that the people in charge can hear whether they're plotting something or about to do something bad. Like, there's a character, Sinji, I'm gonna put the name there, I'm sorry, who had planned to hack into the computers of the people in charge, but because he said it out loud, they heard it in his collar and they shut it down. So all they can do is hear it. If this was a live television event, then there would be cameras, they would be recording it. The only time a camera comes into play is when someone wins and there's a news report made saying, oh, this is this year's winner of the program, this is them, they killed everyone else. And that's it. That's the only time a camera comes into play. Like, that's literally it. And the entire point of the Hunger Games is supposed to be that this world is so barbaric that their consideration of live TV entertainment is watching people kill each other, watching kids kill each other. So, did no one consider this when they were making these, like, saying they were exactly like? No? So, the winner in Battle Royale does not get fame and fortune. Another point of the Hunger Games was that the winner basically becomes a celebrity. Once you win, you're basically in the capital's puppet. You have to keep up appearances. You have to go to each district in a victory tour and sort of go like, haha, I won, where it's televised to everyone. And you go to the capital and you get a big house in your district in the victor's village. You become rich, famous. Everyone wants to be you. If you're pretty, you get prostituted out to people who want to spend the night with you. You're basically, you have no life anymore. You have no freedom. That's your life over. You have to be the capital's celebrity. You have to be the victor of the games, because that's basically what happens when you think about Big Brother. Even people who didn't win, they become famous, and like, you know, people follow them on Twitter, follow their lives, you see it coming up, such and McCall's lost loads of weight, such and such got a gastric ban, such and McCall's dating the other, and you think, who are these people? And then you tap on it and they're from like Big Brother or Toy or something. They get famous because they were on a reality TV show. And the only reason it doesn't happen with the Hunger Games for people who aren't victors is because they're dead, you know? But in Battle Royale, the winner is basically transferred to another school, and I think there's prize money, I can't remember completely, but they're transferred to another school, given some prize money, and that's it. They're done. You know, that's all they get. After killing your entire class, you get to live. That's it. Your prize is to live. Which is fair enough, like, when you think about it, you know. I mean, out of everything, like, you know, if I was even in the Hunger Games, I wouldn't care about shit about, like, the riches and stuff. The living is the major key point here. Another important thing is that when someone wins in Battle Royale, they are told to keep their participation in the program secret. The only reason that we find out about this is because there is spoilers, kind of, because I need to go into spoilers to, like, talk about this, is that Kawada, who teams up with Shuya and Noriko, actually had been in the previous year's program, and the reason he got selected again was because the school he got transferred to, because he was so injured after the program, he got held back a year because he was in hospital, and he ended up in the school that got picked the following year. I mean, what shitty luck. Like, when I was reading it, I was like, I can't fucking even, like, that amount of bad luck is astronomical. Like, it's hard to even kind of imagine. But yes, they're told to keep their participation secret. So the only reason that, obviously, unless someone like recognized you from the TV the previous year when they said, oh, you know, you're from the TV that time, but who would really keep in mind a face that they saw once in one news program from the previous year? They're basically told to keep it secret. And again, in the Hunger Games, you're a celebrity, everyone knows you, everyone will know you, even if they don't. They will know who you are. You're the one who won the Hunger Games that year. You know, no one is not going to know who you are. There's no secret keeping here. And that's another difference. On that same note, in the Hunger Games, aside from the quarter quell, the third quarter quell in the second book, Catching Fire, no one goes in twice. The victors they're basically promised that they are exempt from the reaping for the rest of their lives. Once you win, you don't go in again. You don't have to go in again. And as I said, the only time that changed was when the rules were bent for the third quarter quell, and it's speculated that maybe President Snow broke those rules in order to try to get Katniss. And as I said, in Battle Royale, Kawada, he had gone in again. He had experienced the Battle Royale the previous year. So it's possible in Battle Royale, and in common terms, it's not in the Hunger Games. In Hunger Games, there are 24 tributes between the ages of 18 and 24. In Battle Royale, it's only one 9th grade class, selected randomly, of 42 students. There's a lot more in Battle Royale. I think the second quarter quell, it was double the amount of tributes was put into the game. But again, that's a quarter quell, and it was not commonality for the Hunger Games. In the Hunger Games, you're not guaranteed food or water. You're not guaranteed to be able to get a weapon. You are basically on your own. It is your responsibility to get what you can. In Battle Royale, you're given a backpack, and in your backpack there is bread, a bottle of water, and a weapon. And the weapon ranges from a toothpick to a machine gun. Knowing my luck, I'd get the fucking toothpick, like, but you are guaranteed food, water, and a weapon. How you choose to ration that out is up to you, but they get guaranteed some of it. Hunger Games can go days without kills. I am pretty sure Katniss and Peeta are in the arena for nearly a month before they win. In Battle Royale, you can't go 3 days. If there's 3 days gone and it's not over, I think it's 3 days. If a particular amount of days pass and it's not over, the collars of everyone will explode and you're all dead. There'll be no winner. That's how it works. And I think there was something mentioned, if it goes a couple of days without kills, I mean a particular amount of time without any kills, then they'll all get killed as well. It's basically to encourage them to kill each other. And there are also forbidden zones in Battle Royale, which kind of is used to shepherd them closer to each other. And they're all given a map, and there's announcements at noon and 6. I think it is noon, 6 and midnight, where the dead are announced and the forbidden zones are told. And that's also a difference from the Hunger Games, because there's only one announcement of the dead and nothing else, unless there's a feast about to be announced or a rule change, which only ever happened once in the Hunger Games and was basically supposed to be a fake out, but as you know, they got the better of them. I am going to admit to some similarities, because there are similarities. As I said, in both books, it's kids killing kids. It's kids killing kids, and you can't get around that. And in both books, it's government run. It's run by a power higher than the poor children who are put into the games. And the whole point is that you don't have control of it. If you're put in, you're put in. In Battle Royale, they friggin' murder the parents of the students if they try to protest against it. So there are similarities. They're both government run, and it is kids killing kids, and they are put into a secluded area where they have no choice but to try and find each other, to kill each other. So that's a similarity there. I will admit the similarities. Like I said, in the Hunger Games, it is basically a pageant. You can sponsor tributes, for the love of God, and buy them gifts to help them. The best gift ever given was given Finnick Odair. He was given a weapon. A sponsor bought him a trident. In Battle Royale, there's none of that. The public have no idea what's going on, which class has been picked, when it's happening. It's all kept very secret. The only thing they ever find out is the winner at the end. In the Hunger Games, it's basically the event of the year. It's what everyone in the capital will be watching. Everyone in the districts are forced to watch. There are cameras everywhere documenting your every move. It's the big brother of the Hunger Games, like I said. It's a pageant. It's a very gruesome pageant, but that was the entire point. And there's the one victor, as President Snow said in the movie, to give hope to the masses. Since this video is titled A Hunger Games Fan Reads Battle Royale, I'm sure it comes off that I'm going to trash Battle Royale, but I want to make it clear, I really fucking enjoyed this book. And something that I'm going to say that I really enjoyed was the different POVs. And that's actually something that's actually quite incredible, because I hate different POVs in books. I hate when it takes away from one character to go to this other one, when maybe like something's happening to the character you've been reading and you want to know what's going on. I found it interesting in this because everyone knew each other. Everyone had been in this class together. That was something that definitely you didn't get in the Hunger Games unless two friends from the same district had been raped. You get the different point of views of everyone as they go about this program, and you hear their opinions on everyone and who they're willing to kill and who they don't care about and who they're worried about and who they love and who they don't love. It's really interesting. You can see who the assholes are, who are the good people, who are the ones who are terrified, not terrified. There's literally a guy in this who has no emotions whatsoever, and he just goes through everyone who gets in his path. And you only read his point of view once, I think. If ever. I'm not sure if you ever read his point of view, actually. But it's all so fascinating. It's like you get to hear all the catty high school drama as they're all preparing to kill one another. It's really fascinating. I wouldn't say like it's fun to hear people planning to kill each other, but it was certainly fascinating to read, and was definitely not something you got in the Hunger Games, because the point of view was limited to Katniss. The only time I would say it bothered me, but I understand why it was done this way, the only time it bothered me was when Shuya was, I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I'm sorry, when Shuya was hurt, he was shot, yeah, he was shot, and it just cuts away and you're like, wait, what? And then there's like 5 different POVs or something before you get back to him. But the reason for that was that it goes through the progression of the night to when Shuya then wakes up in the morning, and you need to see what the other people are doing during that night. It was just kind of frustrating because you're just like, where is he? What's wrong with him? Is he okay? Is he dead? Someone tell me! You know? It was also interesting reading how quickly particular people would turn on each other, even though they knew each other. There was one guy who came back to try and shoot people as they came out of the school, and like that mustn't have taken much thought. Well, it must have taken a lot of thought, but like it must have just been like, oh well, I might as well just kill them all as they're coming out, not give them a chance. You have to remember, these guys have been in a class together. They kind of know each other, not necessarily really well, but I think about people in my class who I didn't know really well. I still wouldn't, like, you know, be comfortable killing them. You know what I mean? So it was definitely interesting to read that kind of thing, and I think them all knowing each other and having been in a class together and having gone through particular events and particular drama with one another before they entered the program, it certainly added an interesting effect to everyone's point of view and the different point of views that you got. That was definitely something I enjoyed about the book that the Hunger Games did not have. I'm not sure whether Battle Royale is based in a post-apocalyptic world, but it's definitely a corrupt world that they're living in. So I don't know whether to say that it's similar, that they live in post-apocalyptic worlds, but I will say they're both living under corrupt governments. So that's another similarity right there. Another similarity is that at the end of the program and at the end of the games in the Hunger Games is that 2 people get out instead of 1. And yeah, that's basically it. But the 2 people who get out in Battle Royale have to live on the run. Katniss and Peeta in the Hunger Games, they get out and they're both treated like celebrities. Of course, there's the obvious thing where they have to watch their back, but that's for the progressing books. In Battle Royale, they're on the run. That's it. That's that's it. They can't go back home. They have to stay forever on the run because it's not allowed. You're not allowed. There's not allowed to be two people. It has to be one. So even though it's a similarity, there's still differences. So do I think Suzanne Collins purposely read Battle Royale and decided, ooh, I want a piece of that? No, I don't. And I'm not just saying that as a Hunger Games fan, I'm saying it as someone who vastly enjoyed both of these books. I would read both of these again. I really enjoyed them both. They both have great stories, great characters, interesting premises. I just think that I can see where the accusations of them being a rip-off comes from, but I don't think it holds much water once you read the books. I don't know whether most of the people who made the accusation have just watched the movie and maybe not gotten a lot of the minor details that you get in the book. But I definitely recommend reading the book because then you definitely get to see they're nothing alike. The idea of kids killing kids and a couple of other things are the same, but that's about it. Did I leave anything out? Let me know, guys. Tell me your opinions down below and follow my social media, blog, Instagram, Twitter, if you don't want to, don't either if you don't want to, and we'll see you next week with my next video. Until then, bye-bye, and remember, Battle Royale and the Hunger Games, not the same story.